Most Americans grow up believing that U.S. citizenship is the ultimate guarantee, a lifelong shield of rights, identity, and belonging. Whether granted by birthright or earned through years of immigration and naturalization, it's seen as permanent and unshakable. But here's the shocking truth. It's not. Yes, you heard that right. Even decades after becoming a U.S. citizen, your status can still be revoked. And under circumstances that may seem trivial or even completely unknown to most. The power to strip away citizenship is written into law, and history has shown that the government isn't afraid to use it. In this eye-opening video, we're uncovering 5 real and alarming reasons why people, just like you, have lost their U.S. citizenship. From overlooked paperwork to criminal activity to misrepresentation, these cases serve as a stark warning. If you think you're safe, think again. Stick with us as we break down the legal loopholes, the true stories, and the preventative steps you need to know to protect your status and your future. But before we dive in, like this video, and if you're new here, subscribe for more insightful content like this, and leave a comment saying, "I subscribed," so we can welcome you personally. 1. Fraud in the naturalization process. The silent citizenship killer. Let's start with the most common, and perhaps the most dangerous, way people lose their U.S. citizenship. Lying or omitting information during the naturalization process. It might seem harmless at first. Maybe it's a small detail, an altered name, a hidden criminal record, or a failure to disclose past associations. But make no mistake, even the smallest lie on your citizenship application can turn into a legal time bomb waiting to explode. The Department of Justice doesn't take this lightly. In fact, they have the authority to reopen and investigate naturalization cases, not just months or years later, but decades down the line. Your citizenship is not immune to scrutiny, no matter how long you've held it. Consider the real-life case of a former Nazi concentration camp guard who concealed his wartime past. He lived in the U.S. peacefully for decades. But once the truth surfaced, his citizenship was stripped, and he was deported to Germany. Proof that time does not erase lies, and justice doesn't forget. The bottom line? If your citizenship is built on deception, it's never truly secure. The truth always matters, and the U.S. government has both the tools and the will to act on it. 2. Allegiance under fire. Joining hostile forces or foreign governments. Think becoming a U.S. citizen means you're safe forever? Think again, especially during the first 5 years after naturalization. During this period, your actions are under a legal microscope, and if you engage in certain behaviors, you might be signaling a breach of allegiance, one the U.S. government takes very seriously. These red flag activities include joining or supporting terrorist organizations or groups hostile to the U.S., serving in the armed forces of a foreign nation, accepting a position within a foreign government, especially without prior notification to U.S. authorities. These aren't just bad optics, they're potential grounds for denaturalization. The law sees citizenship not just as a piece of paper, but as a binding oath of loyalty to the United States. If your actions suggest you've shifted that loyalty, especially so soon after taking your oath, you may find yourself under investigation and eventually stripped of your citizenship. Moral of the story? U.S. citizenship isn't just about enjoying rights, it's about upholding responsibilities. Break that bond of trust, and the consequences can be swift and irreversible. 3. Dual citizenship. When loyalty gets questioned. On the surface, dual citizenship might seem like the best of both worlds. 2 passports, more freedom to travel, and broader opportunities. And yes, U.S. law generally permits it. But there's a critical caveat that many overlook. Your intent. The U.S. government doesn't just look at your paperwork. They look at your motives. If it appears that you pursued a second citizenship to renounce or replace your American identity, or if you swear allegiance to a foreign regime in a way that conflicts with U.S. values, your citizenship could be called into question. For example, taking an oath to a foreign government, especially one hostile to American interests, or accepting a position of power or nobility that carries obligations contrary to U.S. allegiance can trigger federal scrutiny. While rare, these cases become more frequent during periods of geopolitical tension or national security concern. The warning is clear: dual citizenship isn't a free pass. It comes with legal and ethical expectations. If your second nationality suggests you're betraying your first, you could risk not just a passport, but your place in the nation itself. 4. The ultimate betrayal: treason, rebellion, and acts against America. Now, let's talk about the most severe, and perhaps most dramatic path to losing U.S. citizenship: committing acts of treason or rebellion. Under the Immigration and Nationality Act, any citizen found guilty of treason, insurrection, or serving a foreign enemy can be stripped of their U.S. citizenship. This isn't speculation. It's enshrined in federal law. While such cases are extremely rare, they carry massive weight. Imagine a citizen caught spying for a hostile nation, aiding in cyber attacks, or taking part in an armed uprising against the U.S. If convicted in a federal court, their punishment could go far beyond prison. It could include complete revocation of citizenship and deportation. This serves as a stark reminder: U.S. citizenship is not an invincibility cloak. It's a contract of allegiance, and when that contract is willfully broken on a national scale, the consequences are absolute. 5. Falsified birth records or identity theft, when citizenship was never real. Think being born in the U.S. automatically guarantees your citizenship forever? Think again. While the standard for revoking the citizenship of natural-born Americans is incredibly high, there's one major exception: when the entire identity is based on fraudulent or stolen documentation. We're talking about cases where individuals were never actually citizens to begin with, because the foundation of their legal identity was faked. Examples include fake hospital or birth records, created to simulate a U.S. birth, stolen identities, where one person assumes the legal identity of another, birth tourism scams, where foreign nationals forge paperwork to falsely claim their child was born on American soil. Though extremely rare, these cases do happen, and when discovered, the U.S. government has the legal authority to void that citizenship entirely. There have been real-life cases where individuals raised their entire lives in the U.S. suddenly found themselves facing revocation and deportation simply because their paperwork was forged from the beginning. Bottom line: even if you think your citizenship is rock solid, if it's built on a lie, even one you didn't create yourself, it can still be taken away. Bonus: who's investigating all this? Still think this is just a hypothetical? It's not. Agencies like the Department of Justice, DOJ, Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, have dedicated task forces actively combing through old immigration and naturalization records. And they're not doing it by hand. They're using cutting-edge tools, from facial recognition and biometric tracking to AI-powered data audits that can cross-reference decades of records. These agencies are no longer waiting for fraud to come to them. They're hunting for it, quietly, methodically, and often with devastating legal consequences. So what's the real message behind all of this? U.S. citizenship is one of the most powerful privileges in the world. It grants access to rights, protections, and opportunities that billions of people can only dream of. But it's not invincible, and it's not unconditional. Whether you were born on U.S. soil or earned your citizenship through years of sacrifice, your status can still be challenged. If the foundation was built on fraud, or your actions violate the terms of allegiance. The key to keeping your citizenship safe? Know the law. Be honest, always. And never forget that citizenship is not just a right. It's a responsibility. Don't let ignorance be the reason you, or someone you love, receives an unexpected knock from federal agents. So now we want to hear from you. Were you surprised by any of these reasons? Do you know someone who could unknowingly be at risk? Drop your thoughts in the comments, This is a conversation that every American should be part of. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We dive deep into the laws that shape our lives and the rights that protect them, so hit that bell icon to stay informed. Stay aware, stay protected, and we'll see you in the next video.